Welcome back to the Advanced Scripting series. Today we're going to be talking all about tweening. Don't mind the script I have here. This was in preparation for another video. I'm sure you guys can't guess what that is. But today we're going to be talking all about tweening. We're going to use TweenService and tweening GUIs. So let's go ahead and get straight into this. I hope you're as excited as I am. So what is tweening? Tweening is basically a way for you to smoothly adjust values or properties. For example, you could take this part right here and you could tween its size up and down so that it smoothly resizes itself. And that's what we're going to go ahead and start with as a first example. So go ahead and insert a part into your game. We can call this tween part. And insert a script into tween part. We can call this tween script. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is get a service, and that is TweenService. And the way we do that is we say local TweenService, remember this is a variable, equals game:get service, just like user input service. This is a service that Roblox provides to us, and we can just say TweenService. Alright, so how do we actually create a tween though? Let's go ahead and create a variable for it. So we'll say local tween equals to TweenService:create. So that's how you create a tween. You use the TweenService and then say :create, and that makes a brand new tween that is now this variable called tween. Okay. Now the first thing we need to put in here is what are we actually tweening. In that case, it's the part. So script.parent, our tween part right here. Next, we need tween info. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and actually go up a couple lines, and I'm going to say local TI, that stands for tween info, you can name this variable whatever you want, equals tweeninfo.new. Okay, so this is tween info, and this is basically telling our script what kind of tween do we want. And as you can see, we have this is a built-in thing by Roblox. When you say tweeninfo.new, it creates a brand new set of tween info. Think of this as the information the computer needs for a tween. So the computer's like, okay, how should I tween it? Now we're going to tell it by using this new tween info right here. So the first thing is time. How much time should the tween take? I'm just going to say 0.5. I want this tween to be finished in half a second. You don't have to format it like this, by the way. I do like to have my different information on separate lines, but make sure there's a comma that separates every piece of information. So the first one's time. I'm saying half a second. Next one is easing style. This is another enum thing. We talked about enum, I believe, in the first episode. So enum.easing style, and then there are tons of different easing styles that we can use. Again, just like, what was it? User input service, enum.keycode. This is just Roblox's way of telling itself what kind of tweening are we doing. And there are tons of different types, so you can see all of them right here. Let's go ahead and start with linear. enum.easingstyle.linear. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and say enum.easingdirection. And then there are three different easing directions: in, out, and in-out. And you can read the description if you want. In says the easing style is applied in a forward direction. enum.easingdirection.out says the easing style is applied in a reverse direction. And enum.easingdirection.in-out, the easing style is applied forward for the first half and in reverse for the second half. This is kind of confusing stuff. What I would just suggest is trying one of them and seeing what it looks like, and if you don't like it, switch it to in or in-out. So right now I'm going to stick with out, and that's because I think it's going to look nicer because we are currently tweening out. We're tweening this, we're going to tween the part to be much bigger, okay? You could try in if you want and see what kind of result you get. That's all we actually do need. You could include some other things like the amount of times that it repeats and then reverses. We'll get into that in a second though. Let's just stick with this, so forget the last comma. And here is our tween info. Half a second, we're going in a linear style and we're going in the out direction. Let's add a comma down here after script.parent, so now we can tell the tween what kind of tween info it has, and that's the TI, right? The tween info we just created. Lastly, we need to create a table, and that's going to tell the script what are we actually tweening, because it knows we want to do something in half a second. It knows what kind of style we want, and it knows what kind of direction, but it doesn't know what to actually tween. So in this case, we can say size equals to vector3 dot new and let's just say 10 by 10 by 10, like this. In this scenario, you do not want a string here. It's just the property name, and that's not as a string. So size, just like this. And then remember, vector3.new will give us a new 3-digit value. So it's a 10 by 10 by 10 cube. So now we have this tween, but let's actually go ahead and play it. The way you do that is just by saying tween : play. Okay, so now it has all the information, and it's saying, okay, now it's time to play the information that we just were given. Okay, let's go ahead and click run, and within half a second, woof, it has just scaled up. Now, because it's kind of, it's going to be a little tricky to see, I'm going to go ahead and add a wait. So I'm going to, before we create the tween and play it, I'm going to just say wait 2. That way our everything is loaded in before we actually start. So if we wait 2 seconds, there you go. As you can see, that was like a really, really smooth tween. And that's what tweening does. It changes properties smoothly. Now, let's go ahead and try out some other easing styles. So let's replace linear with elastic. Okay? Because I really like this easing style, and I think you will too. Let's just go ahead and check this out. And as you can see, there you go. It just like totally popped out. And just because I want you to see that a little better, I'm going to change the 0.5 to 1. So it's going to take a full second to finish instead. And let's click run. And in 2 seconds it should, there you go. As you can see, it was kind of like a little bouncy sort of thing. It grew, and then it shrank, and then it grew, and it was like elastic, right? Now you can kind of see why we want to have in or out. Because if I switch this to in, it's going to look a little different. You may not be able to notice it completely, but as you can see, well, actually, you did notice it with the elastic. It's hard to tell with other types, but with elastic, as you can see, it did the little elastic thing at the beginning, right? It started by kind of squeezing itself instead of finishing like that. So watch it again. As you can see it did that little squeezy animation before it sized up. So I really like enum.easingDirection.out because I like it to finish like that. Okay, let's go ahead and try another one, enum.easingStyle.bounce. This is another fun one. As you can see in just a second, when it plays, it bounces like that. I don't know if you noticed that. To make this a little bit easier to see, I'm going to go ahead and select the part, anchor it, and move it up like this, okay? So now let's go ahead and run it one more time. And you should be able to see, yeah, it bounces like that. So it's like it hits its final position, and then it goes back a little bit, and it bounces. That's another enum easing style. There you go. You can see it again. Okay, perfect. But I really like the elastic one, so let's just go ahead and do elastic. Next, let's add a comma, and now it's asking for how many times we're going to repeat the tween. Let's just say 4. And then it's asking, should we reverse the tween? So let's write true, okay? And let's see, delay time we can get into in a second. So this is now saying the extra things are saying, okay, yeah, we want to repeat our tween 4 times, and we're going to reverse it when it's time. So watch and learn. We are going to resize it, and then it reverses, as you can see, reverse, and it goes in and out. Okay, perfect. And it should do that 4 times. Perfect, and now it's done. Okay, let's do one more, and this is the delay time. This is, should there be any time in between the animations? Let's just say 0.2. So each time it tweens out, we want to wait 0.2 seconds before it repeats again, okay? So let's go ahead and watch this. As you can see, there's now a little delay. It's very small because I set it to 0.2, but there is a little delay of 0.2 seconds. So there you go. That is the first set of tweening. That's tweening with size. Let's do another one, though. Let's go ahead and duplicate this part. So Control D, and let's move it over here. And instead of tweening size, let's go ahead and tween the position. Okay, so we're inside of the tween part script right now. Let's, instead of saying size, let's change this to position. Equals to script.parent.position plus vector3.new 0, 10, 0. Okay, so this should tween the position of the part to be its current position, but plus 0, 10, 0. So what that's saying is, and this may just take a little bit of practice, it's just saying, hey, I want to tween this part to wherever it's at right now, but up 10 studs, right? That's what the 10 in the middle is. It means 10 up. So let's go ahead and hit run. And as you can see, it should, yep, there we go. We have this little elastic animation as it goes up and down, and we also have this resizing. So tweening is a whole lot of fun, as you can tell by this little demo. But yeah, let's go ahead and do some GUIs now, because it's a little different with GUIs. Okay, let's insert a screen GUI into started GUI. And let's insert a text label. Here's my label. I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to change the text to be hello. Okay, there's my label. Now let's insert a local script inside of the text label. And all we have to say for this, there's no tween service needed. If you're going to tween the position or the size, you don't need to get the tween service. All you have to do is say script.parent : tween size. Okay, we'll do the size first. udim2.new. And then this one's a little tricky because udim2 is kind of like vector3, but for GUIs. And to do this, let's go ahead and take the current size. So come to your text label, go to the properties where it says size, go ahead and copy that and put it inside of the udim2.new. Now get rid of the squiggly brackets, because if you have those, that's going to get all messed up. Okay, so now we're saying let's tween the size to this current size, but as you know, we just copied and pasted this, so we haven't changed the size at all. The way we can change this is by saying 100 and 300. Just change those values, those numbers, to something else. Keep the zeros as is. Okay. And then same thing with enum.using direction. But as you'll notice, with this it's a little bit different because you have the enum style first, and then the enum direction when we use TweenService. When we just have a GUI, we do the direction first and then the style. So let's do enum.using direction.in and then comma enum.using style. And let's just do linear and then comma how long it should be. Let's say 1 second. Okay. For this, we're going to need to actually play the game. Let's hit play here. And within 1 second, it should tween up the size really nicely. There you go. As you can see, it just tweened up. Perfect. Now, let's go ahead and come back into this. And let's also tween the position. So we'll say script.parent : tween position. It's the same sort of thing. And you can take the current position of the text label right here. Just copy the position in the properties. So udim2.new, and then paste the position in there. Get rid of the squiggly brackets. And then you can change the numbers. For this, I'm going to say a 0.2 here and a 0.4. Obviously, you can like move your text label, copy that new position, and then paste it in. It's up to you. This is just a demo. And then it's the same thing here. We use the enum.using direction first. So enum.using direction. Let's do out for this one. And then enum.using style, and let's do elastic for this one because I like that one. And again, we'll do 1 second. All right, let's hit play here, and it should tween up our size nice and smooth, and then it should, after that, tween our position elastic. Oh, I forgot to add a wait. So let's actually wait for the size to be done first. So let's add a wait 1 here. So script.parent tween size. We tweened the size to be bigger in 1 second. And because it's going to take a second to finish, let's go ahead and wait 1 second. We know that that's how long it's going to take. And then it's going to start doing the position. And that's just about it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below or join my Discord server to ask the questions. But there you go. As you can see, it's tweened the position and the size. I will see you guys in the next episode. Make sure to be subscribed for when that comes out. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.